And we're back.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. It's not really a week later. It's 30 seconds later from the last one I've done, but there's been a gap. There's probably been a bit of a gap. So loads of stuff's probably happened.
What with Daniel Brown?
Okay, right, yeah. So
Forgotten already.
Yeah,
It was only 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, it was Daniel Brown. We mentioned him in the last podcast, and so I said I'd talk about him. I actually didn't have that much to say, apart from we made a little video. I remember making a little video for, I think it was drama class or something, where we made it on an old 80/90s massive video camera that wasn't a new one, and it was just dead fun. That was all I wanted to say about Daniel Brown. And I mentioned,
he was a good lad.
I love Dan.
I'm sure he's not dead.
No, he's good.
He's not. It is for Dan. Thanks, Dan.
Well, listen, let's skip that because no one's going to know who that is. The other person I mentioned was someone called Craig Wilde, who I believe I know from somewhere. I have him on Facebook and Twitter. I don't know. Maybe it's through acting, I think, or comedy or something. I don't know. Anyway, he does some telly stuff. He was on there. I spotted him on there, and that was it. But because we're recording this straight away, we don't really have anything else to Facebook review or name drop, unless you've got anybody.
Well, I mean, name drop, not off the top of my head. I'm sure something will come up during the Szechuan. I'm having a quick scan to see if there's anything fresh on Facebook this morning that's worthy of a note.
Do you know what I thought the other day, actually? Speaking of Facebook, I thought I've never posted. I'm just seeing a picture Alan Featherston's posted of a burger and that. I've never posted. I've never took a picture of my food, unless it's like novelty, you know what I mean? If it came out in the shape of Lionel Richie, I might fucking take a picture of it. But I've never taken a picture of me dinner. Hello. I don't think. Someone's going to prove me wrong here and pull it up on Facebook, but I don't think I have.
Nah, I don't think you have either.
Have you ever? Did you do that? Do you find that interesting? Who the fuck?
Do I find it interesting? That's a different question. No, I do not.
You know what I mean? Even if it's the best thing in the world, the whole point of it is it's tasty. Anyway, now this is 4 days later in real life, or 3 or 4 days later than the last podcast, but it's actually 30 seconds for us. So we might have to predict some stuff. So what do you think about the zombies situation?
Well, I mean, obviously, rumor has it they're going to start opening certain things again soon.
Oh, like what?
I did hear a rumor that McDonald's is going to open again, but then apparently that's just for drive-through corona tests for key workers. So I don't know if there's any truth in any of what I've just said.
You'll get that mark on Facebook. This may not contain accurate information about coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously another one mentioned was hairdressing. I thought, is it really life or death that people need to get a fucking haircut?
They're thinking of opening hairdressers again.
Allowing hairdressers, and I just thought, isn't that the worst profession to allow?
Yeah, touching your sweaty bald head. Well, not bald, if you've gone the hairdressers.
I just think it's a bit mental.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry to all you hairdressers out there that need, to be working. And, I'd be interested in your opinion on this too, but surely being a hairdresser, you're constantly touching people.
Yeah.
Appropriately, I might add. And also yourself. And, people say, oh, but I wear gloves. It's like, yes, but...
What do you mean? A hairdresser is touching people and touching themselves. I mean, I didn't know
people
this was a thing.
People naturally touch their own face.
Which hairdressers are you going to? Because I'll be popping in there.
No, but you know what I mean? People always naturally touch their own face. When, I've noticed more and more that I do it.
And I heard a statistic the other day, which I can't actually believe is true about that. Someone said the other day, right? No. Who said it? It was actually in a film. It was in a film called, oh my God, we need to talk about this. Contagion. Oh, now
was it actually Contagion?
It was actually Contagion, right?
All right, I was just joking. Oh.
No. Have you seen it, by the way?
I have, but when it came out nearly 10 years ago.
Let's have a chat about Contagion in a second. But my point was, it's in that film. Kate Winslet obviously is very knowledgeable about hygiene in real life. She says you touch your face 5,000 times a day. Oh no, 1,000 times or something. Can't remember what she said, but it's something like that. And I just thought, there's no way you touch your face. I'm gonna get the statistic up now. I might have to actually cut this out.
The problem with gloves is you have this false sense of security. Whereas if you just go barehanded, you're more likely to just continuously be washing your hands or using sanitizer just in case. Bit of bareback.
Anyway, Kate Winslet, the disease specialist Kate Winslet in that film, says you touch your face between 2,000 and 3,000 times a day. I can't believe that's accurate. Because there's some
behind that. Because I bet if it's in a 24-hour period, I bet you touch your face a lot when you're asleep.
All right. Well, no, wait, you're cheating in the game there.
No, that's what it will include. That. Just think about every time you rub your eye.
Day. No. Wait, hang on.
I could get behind that.
Hang on. I think you've dropped a clanger there, right? Because when you're in deep sleep, you go into paralysis, so you're not touching your face. You might touch it in maybe the hour or so either side of deep sleep. But then
but okay, then just to throw another stat at you, if the average person that sleeps for 8 to 10 hours, they're only in deep sleep for about 2.5 of them.
For someone to touch the face 3 times, I would have to sit here doing this. To touch my face 3,000 fucking times.
It sounds really bad.
It hurt me cheeks. I did it. I was quite furious then. I did it really hard. Which I also like. But yeah, no way you touch your face 3,000 times.
Kate Winslet is wrong.
No way. There's sometimes I don't touch my face at all in a day. So there's no way I touch it.
Really?
3,000 times. Come off it, Kate Winslet.
Anyway.
You see, look, we've already, I don't even know how long we've done now. 12 minutes already. Talking about Kate Winslet. But Contagion, that film.
I like a bit of Kate.
I watched it recently. Andy and Jen, they didn't get a name drop last time. They'll get one this time, though, because they watched it. I told them to watch it, and they watched it. Honestly, the first 50 minutes of that film is what's happening now. Like, literally, beat for beat, even the terminology they're using is exactly the same. It goes worse in the film. It's a bit more devastating, the virus. Like, more people die of it. But, like, it's not really a very interesting film if this wasn't happening, because it's all the admin of a zombie apocalypse. It's all people going, and what do you think, President? Should we close down this section of the thing? And then some guy goes, oh, yes, we'll close that. Excellent. Sign the order. It's more like that stuff of it, and you're like, Gwyneth Paltrow dies in it, though. Selling your pseudoscience goop shit on Netflix. Have you seen that?
What the hell happened to Gwyneth Paltrow? No wonder Chris Martin left.
She's your mental. No offense. Allegedly. I can't, in case you listen. Obviously, I mean, you're right, Gwyneth. Yeah. She's selling vagina stones and fucking stickers that cure fucking cancer. She's again, I don't want to be libelous, so allegedly someone might think that she's a massive twat. But yeah,
someone might. I mean, you think about it, Chris Martin's a lover of the planet and nature and all that jazz, and even he couldn't.
Who was Chris Martin?
For it. A husband?
Oh, thanks for clearing that up. Yeah, I know that.
Coldplay lead singer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's every song that's done. God, we're really lacing the Paltrows, aren't we? Which actually could go into because we did the worst podcast last time. We're doing it in 2 parts. We're doing it again this time. It's not really the worst. We're just kind of having a whinge about weird and awful and funny sitcom style stories that have happened in our past. And that's a good start, because this one is we'll start with worst actor or singer.
So singer, right? So I'm going to jump straight in on sing. Well, I haven't got one. I've got like a theory, and I just want to see what people think. So
you've got
I now listen to internet radio on my phone rather than
right.
crappy radio stations.
Because you're an old man. Right, yeah.
Well, just because there's too many adverts and too much talking. I don't mind talking. Like I used to like Chris Moyles' show. I haven't liked anybody since he got moved on somewhere else. So anyway, so I listen to internet radio, which covers like 80s, 90s, and now.
Yeah.
So one thing I've noticed is people that I used to listen to in the early 90s, or my parents would listen to, and I used to think, oh yeah, that's good. Like Belinda Carlisle always gets
everybody.
Have you noticed that nobody from the 80s could actually sing? I didn't notice it so much as a kid, but when I hear songs now, and it's like, oh dude, bit of auto-tune please.
It might be because singers are better now, though.
Well, yeah, because I think they have to be.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess so. Yeah, but then there was people like Whitney Houston who were absolutely mint.
Oh, well, yeah. Obviously, there's
people. I know what you mean, though. People like Tiffany, Kylie, anyone, Belinda Carlisle. I love you, Belinda. You know I do. Madonna, fucking hell. I mean, none of those could sing.
Specifically, Belinda Carlisle. Like a couple of songs I've heard recently, I've thought,
whoa, can you just calm down on Belinda Carlisle?
Gloria Estefan, pretty poor too.
I believe it's pronounced Estefan.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, that's mine. Just all singers from the 80s.
Yeah. So you don't like singers from the 80s? Oh, well, that's broad.
See, no, I love 80s music, and I still like some of this music, but I'm just saying, a lot of them just couldn't sing. Really couldn't sing.
I'm going to be controversial now. One of mine worst actor/singer. So just someone I don't particularly like, Ed Sheeran. Can't get in the fucking bin. Like, I can't do him.
You don't have to do him.
I just can't. I just don't enjoy him. I don't enjoy him.
Why?
Don't know. He turned up in Game of Thrones. I think that put me off as well because I like that show. So like I already kind of didn't like him, and then he turned up in Game of Thrones, and I didn't like that, and I was like, "This, you've ruined everything."
Does that mean you don't like Lewis Capaldi either?
I don't know who that is. Is that the? Is that the kind of
the Scottish guy again? That looks a little bit homeless.
Yeah, looks a bit.
He still turns up at award events, and he's mortal because he still doesn't really know how to be at these things.
All right, I think I know who you mean. I've seen a kid who's like all the kids love. And he looks like a sickly kid in school. You know what I mean? Like the sickly kid who always was just rashy and had a runny nose. That's what he looks like.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking I know who you're talking about. Is he popular?
Lewis Capaldi, yeah.
Dude, I don't know who's popular. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, there was the guy with loads of tattoos on his face. He's popular. Don't know who he is.
Malone.
See, you're down with the kids, you man. I don't know anybody.
I'm good
Post
with the old
Malone.
pop culture.
Can you tell me one song by him?
Post Malone.
Yes. No, you can't because they're shit.
I'm going to take a point that one of his songs is called Better Now because he says it a lot in one of his songs.
Yeah, but my point was you couldn't just think of one. And you're not sure. So
no,
obviously,
I'm not sure.
We're too old for this shit, man.
Yeah.
Give me Belinda shitty singer Carlisle any day.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't like him. I don't like...
couple of actors I want to throw in here.
Ah, go on then.
So, Damian Lewis.
I don't know who that is.
You do, man. Have you ever seen...
All right, that's what it... That's
you know
easy
Homeland?
then. That's easy. I don't know who that is. You do. All right, I do. Oh, yeah.
Do you know Homeland?
Nope. Never seen
Mandy
it.
Patinkin.
Listen, you can name every fucking actor in it. I haven't seen it.
Mandy
Patinkin, though.
Yeah. See, you know who that
love is like...
right,
go on.
Oh, Damian Lewis, he's tall, ginger,
He's in my crew.
He's just the smart. Have you seen the adverts on telly for Billions? The program Billions.
Nope.
Okay, all right. Well, do you know who Kristen Stewart is?
From Twilight.
Yes.
Yes, I know who that is. I thought she was quite good. Really?
Oh, in what? What did you think she was quite good in?
She didn't she do a film on Netflix recently? No, she did do a film recently that I saw and it was rubbish. So yeah, I agree with you. I turned on a dime. Yeah, she played a soldier in something, and it was like I almost turned it off. I was like, this is irritating me. Just look, I think it's because she always looks irritated as well. She always looks like she just can't be bothered. I know maybe that's just her face.
And it is. She has like one emotion. Damian Lewis was also in Band of Brothers. You've seen that, haven't you?
Band in Brothers. I've never seen that film.
Band of Brothers.
My sister's friend was in Band of Brothers. You remember Chris?
Chris, that was in Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers, man. Yeah. So my sister's friends. Well, I suppose would say I'm friends with him. He was at my house often enough.
Oh, we got some royalties, Chris. I did buy that DVD.
I can't tag him because he's just vanished off the face of the earth. But he used to live my street. He was an actor like I was because I was a young actor. And he got in Dog Soldiers. I was well fucking annoyed, but happy for him, obviously. Oh, you dick, man. Yeah, he played Joe. If anyone's seen it, he played Joe.
The hard one.
Yeah, I know, which is mad because he's really tiny. He's tiny and gay. Not saying that gays can't be hard, but like... Oh no, I'm gonna have to leave that in, aren't I?
You definitely gotta leave that in. So I went out for a walk with Ellie the other day, walking the dog, because I'm not really allowed to see her because of the coronavirus. So I've seen Ellie like
the dog
3 times in 2 months.
All right, your daughter.
But even she brought it up the other day because she was so bored at home. She's been at home for like a month and a half already because they've just cancelled our GCSEs.
Ah. Really? That would, dude. I would have been buzzing if they cancelled our GCSEs.
Yeah. But like, even she was like, "Oh, I was so bored the other day that I watched the new Charlie's Angels." I was like, "Oh, is it terrible?"
Oh, jeez.
And she was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "But the thing that I couldn't," and this is a 15, nearly 16-year-old girl. She's like, "The thing that I couldn't understand is if you remember the one with Cameron Diaz in, yeah." Cameron
no.
Diaz, attractive woman, always plays the parts where she's like.
I know. Well, are you asking if I know who Cameron Diaz is? Because I know who Cameron Diaz is.
No, I meant specifically in Charlie's Angels.
Oh no.
She always
no.
got the job of like wooing somebody or being a
Wooing.
distraction. And Eddie was like, and they've picked Kristen Stewart for that part. And she just couldn't get her head around it. She was just like, she's not attractive. She can't act, and she's got like her only emotion is depression.
See, this is a good choice you made about bringing up your child, was to make them a nerdlinger, which I've always appreciated. You've always kept her playing computer games, watching nerdy movies. I appreciate that style.
I do try. Oh, I saw an announcement. Mallrats 2 is coming out.
Hang on.
Did you know that?
I haven't said my worst actor.
Sorry, who's your worst actor?
I don't know. I haven't thought of one. I was just deeply offended that you just went on to someone else, like I do every other fucking sentence. My worst actor, I don't know. It's no one I don't like. Kevin Spacey, but I liked him before he was a molester. You know what I mean? Lester the molester. Can you not like him?
Do you not like him now?
Well, that's it. That's a question. Can you not like him now because he's?
I suppose it also depends on what you believe as well, though.
He said he came out as gay because he touched a dude's cock, who was didn't want it touched. Just go to the big market any Saturday. That'll happen to you. You know what I mean? You know, whether it's sensationalized, I don't know. Can you watch them now? Can you watch a Kevin Spacey film now? Because I did the other day and it was all right.
Yeah, I can. I mean, you know what? It's.
I'm not saying that forgives him it, but what I'm saying is, I can still watch a film.
You can't all of a sudden decide that you don't like him. But sorry, that you don't like him as an actor because of that.
Yeah, the whole point of it is that in a film is he is playing somebody else. So it's not like you like the character, you know, like American Beauty, you like the character of the guy having the breakdown. You're not going, oh, I love Kevin Spacey having a break. You know what I mean? It's a character. So yeah, I can watch it now. He's all right.
But anyway, have you thought about somebody you don't like?
Nah. Can you think of someone that I don't like?
That's such a cop out.
Honestly,
but I was quite surprised because I, for some reason, thought you didn't like Dwayne Johnson.
I love The Rock.
I was so surprised when you were like, dude, should watch Jumanji 2. I was like, you don't like The Rock? Yes, I do.
But you have unlocked a little secret there because you've just reminded me. See, this is why I asked you that, because it's perfect. I do remember someone who I don't like. I don't like Will Smith.
Oh, he speaks very highly of you, though.
I think he's got something sinister behind his eyes, right? So mark my words, right? If I do this now and predict something, I'm not saying what, but he's got something there, right? Also, he's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So when he did Independence Day for me, and I was a kid as well at the time when he made that move between Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Independence Day. Thing is, in the UK, we probably got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air really late, so he was probably much older by the time he did Independence Day. But for me, he went from being the Fresh Prince to being a fighter pilot, and I was like, my little brain was like, nah. So I don't dislike him. I just can't get away with him. He's all right in Men in Black, I guess, and I Am Legend. In fact, he's all right. The next one is, what is your worst game system of all time?
Oh, see, I didn't get no an answer on this.
Now, this is a nerdy one, so you're going to have to think out of the box. Worst game? I mean, I played some bad games as a kid.
I tell you what, it was probably a better way of putting this.
Yeah.
Is when you've actually spent the money. So I don't mean like you've got a £2 game and it was shit.
Yeah.
But where a game's come out and you think, oh, yes, and then you've blown like 50 notes on it and been livid.
Well,
for me, mine is Call of Duty World War II.
Ah, yeah. Actually,
in the desperate thought of it's going to go back to being Call of Duty and Call of Duty 2. It's going to be amazing. It's World War II. Brilliant. Got it. Fucking hated it.
Yeah, so I was disappointed in that. It's too small. Like, remember, Call of Duty 2 was meant when we used to play of a night time with all the people. There was 30 of us, like 32 players, and then in this one it was like 3v3 or something, or 6v6. I was like, this is rubbish.
So just kind of seem to get the feel of those old ones back again.
Not
for me, anyway.
No, not for me either. They're just not very good.
Well, like you say, they're just console games now. They don't worry about the PC, which is Where it was born.
It's also the console life cycle as well, so the developers need to make the game look as pretty as possible. So, and then towards the end of a generation, they're using every single little bite of memory in that console to make it look decent. You know, you can't have 32 players. The server can't handle it anymore. Call of Duty 2 was on the Quake engine. It still is, I think. Call of Duty games, they're still using the Quake engine. Heavily modified, and they'll have rebranded it, but it's still the Quake engine, I think.
Oh, you've just gone full nerd.
You've awoken my nerd. But in terms of worst game, I don't really have a worst game.
Oh, God, you're such a cop-out today. You know?
Well, it's because we sprang it on it, but I don't know, because every game I've ever played I've got because I've wanted it. I mean, I played some poor games. I mean, me and you, we've talked about this previously, but I'll just briefly say it. We bought an Xbox 360 when they first came out for about 50 grand because they were so expensive, and because I wanted to play the Superman game, Superman Returns on the Xbox 360. Now, it's not Superman 64, which is notoriously a terrible game, but it was not a very good game. It was not good. But again, I played it and I completed it, and I was like, complete it, mate. But in terms of game system, I have no answer at all. Did you ever have a bad game system?
Not really, but I can remember getting a Commodore 64 when all of my mates were getting Mega Drives and being little.
I never had a Mega Drive. I got conned, actually. My parents got conned. My parents got conned in Dixon's or PC World or whatever it was back then.
With Dixon's back then, yeah.
Because they went to there for Christmas, and because I said I wanted a console, and they went there. I should have specified, but then they bought me a Sega. No, a Sega Saturn. It was this time of PlayStation 2.
You loved that though. Were you gutted when you got it originally? Were you?
Secretly, a little bit. But then I did kind of warm to it a little bit. But it wasn't the winner. It wasn't the winner of that generation. Put it one way.
Well, Sega was already on its way down then, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I tell you what, it did do very well. Street Fighter game. It was like the arcades, which the PlayStation
Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Yeah, the PlayStation just couldn't do. Just wasn't as good. Yeah. Take that, PlayStation.
Because they'll be livid.
So again, it wasn't a bad system. It wasn't the worst one by any stretch of the imagination, but probably that. I've had some. I don't know if I can tell this story, but it's related anyway. I always remember one year I got the Nintendo 64. Which is the best. It was the best at the time. I know we're talking about the worst, but I'll get on to the worst.
Yeah.
When I played GoldenEye, I'm not kidding you, man. When I put GoldenEye in that 64 and turned it on Christmas Day, might as well have been a photograph. It just looked amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously now it looks like someone shot some bricks out, or you know what I mean. But then I was like, oh my god, I'm actually here. It was amazing. But I remember though, when I got it, I flashed back on Christmas to about a week before Christmas. I was out Christmas shopping with my mum and my dad, and we're in a game shop. Obviously, I didn't know. I was just a little stupid, spastic child. But I didn't know what they were doing. But they were looking at the games that they'd obviously got me. Yeah. And they went, oh, what about that one? And it was Donkey Kong Racing, which at the time, Diddy Kong Racing. It turned out to be a good game, but
it was a good game, actually.
It was very good, but I didn't know what it was. So when I looked at it...
when you opened it.
No. I wasn't livid when I opened it, and I'll tell you why. Because they picked it up in the shop and they went, best acting ever. Oh, what do you think of this one? What do you think of this? And I just said something like, oh, that looks rubbish. Hurts me to tell that story, you know. It's really sad, isn't it?
Well, but it's just what you did, wasn't it? I mean, you're saying you're a
imagine
kid,
their little faces, though. They would have bought that already and had it wrapped up. And I said, that's rubbish. Rubbish, that. Anyway, I mean, the moral of the story. So that made me feel horrible.
It turned out to be really good, though. The closest thing to Mario Kart.
It did turn out to be good. But that is like a combination of the worst childhood event, worst game, worst system, and worst memory thing. So that's a threefer.
I think the N64 is the console that I held onto for the longest.
N64 was our thing. That was our perfect.
Do you know why I couldn't give it up though? Is because I had the GoldenEye with all of the cheats on.
Oh, I know. Tell you what, man. Like, if I think of some pro gamers that seen like scouts had seen me back then. I was always top of the like I was very good at video games. If I don't say so myself, but you know what I mean though. Like I'd always win on the stack at Stephen Dawkins' house. You know what I mean? I've always been quite skilled. Maybe I should have became a pro gamer, but didn't happen. Didn't happen for me.
Oh.
I feel like we're alienating a lot of the ladies here, being a bit nerdlinger. So I think we should change it now. Let's change it.
Worst music. Mine's Monkey.
Monkey music. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, have you not heard of Monkey Garage? You know Buzzcocks. I know he's just a character, but I mean.
Yeah.
And when I say Buzzcocks, I specifically mean his character, not the guy playing. It's the kind of music I imagine he would listen to.
Yeah, can you not mention Buzzcocks actually? Because we tagged in the Adam and Norm podcast. They liked my tweet. Never got a name drop. I'm not saying they have to, like, and I'll tag them in this so they can listen to this, you vicious bastards. They'll never listen to it anyway. So write that down as well. There's another one that's not listening. I've never heard of Monkey, by the way.
It's the kind you will have heard it though. It's the kind of, the shit that you hear coming out of Corsairs.
Corsair music.
Do you remember that song? Blow my whistle, bitch.
Yeah.
That it was where you can hear like even the recorded version of the song.
Is that the one that we had at me nan's funeral?
That's the one.
Blow my whistle, bitch.
Yeah,
it's on. That song is on every waltzer at the fucking Hoppins.
Yeah,
Smack my bitch up. Yeah. Along with Smack My Bitch Up and yeah. Oh my god, have you ever seen? Oh my god, I need to dig it out, right? And I'll post it on Facebook after this. Funniest thing, have you ever seen the guy who's sitting on this little on his little merry-go-round? Sorry, I can't speak, it's so funny. He's sitting on this little merry-go-round with his kid who's about 3. And it's that song. Oh fuck, what's that song? Face down, ass up. That's the way I like to fuck. And he doesn't realize, right? And he's going around with this little kid. And do you know what? I might show you this live, and I'll cut it so people are not waiting for me to find it because I want to see your reaction. And he comes round, and it's just as he says "fuck," and the dad notices, and he looks a bit like Peter Kay. Honestly, I'm gonna. Hang on, I'm gonna pause it now, and we're gonna listen to Kel watch it. Hang on. Right, okay. So I found the video. So I'm just gonna send you it now, and hope you've got headphones in. But I just wanna.
I do have headphones in.
And just watch this guy's reaction, man. It's just the best thing. Anyone else? I'll put the link in the description for this podcast on Facebook. And I'll do it on YouTube as well.
Right, okay.
Are you ready? Go on then.
I'm watching it now. I love the way he looks. I was like, "There's no escape."
But didn't he look a bit like Peter Kay? The way he just goes, "Oh," like he's so shocked.
The double
That's what I mean though about the Hoppins. It's just like every ride, even the kiddie rides, has got like that down.
Oh, I'm watching it again.
I watched that on a loop for about 4.5 hours one night. It was.
It's like, how is this appropriate on a kid's ride? That's everything that his face says.
And I was like,
who puts this on this ride? It's not even a ride that could be for grown-ups. You know what I mean?
I like the way he doesn't notice it though, and then he doesn't notice that that's the song until it says the word.
Oh, that is funny. I did like that.
Anyway, that was quite funny. How did we get onto that, by the way? I don't even know how we got onto that.
Good monkey music.
Oh yeah, you don't like monkey music, which I thought is that what that is? Is it like happy hardcore?
Yeah, basically. Wait and hear the DJ, like the dodgy DJ over the top of it.
Dodgy DJ.
I mean, I could be totally wrong. That might not be what a monkey is, but that's what I think.
I know what you mean. The Chava fucking music, where you've got some MC going, "You're to the right over here."
Yes, that's the stuff.
Yeah, it's fucking shit. That was said with venom. It's fucking shit.
Yeah.
Fucking shit, that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Anything like that, anything dance. I'm an old timer, me. If it's not 80s rock or 80s rock ballads, or a bit of Peter Cetera, or Belinda, or the Manilow, or the Down Band, I quite like. But if it's anything with a BPM faster than like Sweet Child of Mine, they can get in the sea. Fucking shit, that. Anyway, I don't like very many songs. When like the iPod came out, and they're like, you can have 10,000 songs on here. I was like, honestly, I like about 5 songs.
That still fit on a cassette tape.
Yeah, like I could fit my songs that I actually want to listen to, like on a CD. Like the car, like I get in the car, right, when I was driving to work, and I'd literally put the same 7 songs on. It lasts about 7 songs to get there. I listen to the same 7 songs, and maybe that's because of a mental case, but you know what I mean? I don't need 10,000 songs.
Oh, but you do when you're going on a long journey. Do you not feel now that you drive
a long journey where you can, like the moon? When are you going to listen to 10,000 songs?
Well, no, but obviously you've done a long drive now. You must have
Yes.
listened to a fair few songs on that trip.
I listened to 2 podcasts, and again, my same playlist, but extended a bit with, like, top 7 were, like, the ones I really like, another 7 are ones I quite like, and then mediocre, and then just kind of like, but yeah, same kind of thing, though. It's so boring. I'm just a creature of habit. I like what I like. I really get irritated.
Like what I like.
I do. I get irritated when I break routine. You know, if something breaks my routine, like if I know I go to the shop, I walk that way. If there's like roadworks on, I'm just like, well, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? It fucking just irritates me, and that's only since I've got older, man. So one of the worst things for me, we missed this out on our last one because I believe it's one of the only things I cut out. Because it was worst moment of adulthood, and we both just kind of broke down. No, we didn't. Yeah, we did. No, but the worst thing about adulthood, that's just reminded me, literally just like turning really weird. Like I've turned weird since becoming an adult. Everything, like my knees and that, are gone. I'm like 38.
I know things that I used to think about. My parents used to think, oh God, you're a bit of a twat. And I just think, and now I have the same mentality.
Yeah,
I almost have the Ricky Gervais afterlife mentality.
Yeah, you just care so much less when you get older, but also though my body is betraying me because like I went on DFDS a couple of years ago, so I must have been about 36 or something, to Amsterdam, and I was very violently seasick. Now my dad used to work on supply ships. I've been on boats all my life, absolutely fine. Suddenly. Go on there at 36 after a few years. Honestly, it was like The Exorcist. And where's that come from? I was never seasick before. How come I'm seasick now? I'm also petrified of flying. That's been a thing since getting older. I think you just get a lot more scared when you get older.
Really? I think I've gone the other way about most stuff.
No, but like, you wouldn't bungee jump. I mean, scared in terms of like, you know, when you were a kid, you used to swing off trees. But yeah, I found myself looking at kids up trees. Not that I do that of a weekend. And just going, oh, that looks dangerous. Like, what an old fucking man I've become, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is what I mean. Like, just your attitude. But other than that, I'm less fearless of other things. Like, I couldn't care less what I look like. Honestly, I've gone to the shops and then just looked down. I've got, like, one slipper on. I'm just like, oh, well. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it, homebo.
You're on the cheese pasta out.
No, just things do irritate you more when you get older. Like, I'm just irritated by stuff. Like I say, routine. If my routine is broken, I'm absolutely furious. Yeah. I used to be so carefree. Are you going to say anything? You also on this podcast.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't had any...
Don't worry. I'll tighten all this up in the fucking edit. Well, how about... let's look at the worst movies of all time. So I've got a list here.
According to who?
Well, according to standard.co.uk, London Inside/film. I agree with them. I know some of them. Well, I know most of them, apart from a couple, but you just tell me if you've seen them, okay? So Battlefield Earth.
No, I actually don't think I have ever seen it.
Oh, my God. John Travolta. It's a Scientology film. Well, it was written by L. Ron Hubbard, and then John Travolta plays. It's incredible. In fact, I wouldn't say that's the worst one. Much like another film on this list that you can watch and actually laugh at. The second film, Showgirls. Have you seen Showgirls? It's quite good. Paul Verhoeven, that, you know.
Yeah, I saw that when it first came out. Well, maybe not when it first came out, but quite near when it came out. And
RoboCop to Showgirls. It is actually quite good. It is terrible, like, but it's good in a terrible way.
What, Showgirls or RoboCop?
Showgirl? No, RoboCop's amazing. Showgirls.
I couldn't get past Jesse Spano from Saved by the Bell.
That's the Will Smith.
And it was like, why is she naked? It doesn't make any sense to me in my small childish brain.
Well, that's it. That's a Will Smith curse. It's the same thing for me. Number three is The Exorcist 2, The Heretic. Have you seen that? I have seen that.
I only really remember the first Exorcist. I don't know if I've ever, I certainly can't remember watching the second one.
I remember the second one. I think they've got they're in like a psychiatrist thing, and I just remember the demon's called Bezuzu. It's just the least scary.
Well, they got like a 3-year-old child to decide what it was called.
Yeah, Bezuzu was the name of the demon. I think they might say that in the first one, but they're certainly doing the second one. It's hilarious. Number 4 is Howard the Duck. You ever seen Howard the Duck?
Yes, I have.
Oh my god, this was mint. I thought, why is this on the worst thing? The weirdest fucking thing.
I think the problem with Howard the Duck is when you thought it was mint is probably when I thought it was mint, which is when I was 6.
Yeah, exactly right.
But obviously that is it's a comic book film, so they probably aimed it at 20-something-year-olds.
Yeah, but everyone thought it was
Mid-teens
kids.
to 20-somethings, and they would have been like, "Oh my god, this."
You remember the bit when he gets his he's got a human girlfriend. I can't remember the actress now.
Leah Thompson.
Who? Oh yes, Leah Thompson. She's in bed with him. She strokes him, and he gets a little duck hard on. That
so
actually
wrong.
happens. It actually happens. It's not as down there though. It's on his head, but it's obviously meant to be a little duck.
It's so inappropriate.
A little duck boner.
A little duck boner.
The next one is Movie 43. You ever seen this?
Yes, I have. It's a very
loads
hard
of
watch. Have you seen
loads
it?
of loads of movie executives basically bribed and used their mates in the worst film that's ever been made.
Yeah, I remember at the time being a huge fan of Hugh Jackman and watching that and being thinking
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman and thinking, dude, what are you doing?
Well,
what did you do to somebody to get bribed into having to do this?
I know. Well, some of the sketches are funny on like a Saturday Night Live level, where you're like, all right, he's on a date, but he has testicles on his neck. You're like, it's absurd and funny, and it would be funny for like a 30-second Saturday Night Live sketch, but these things they go on for a bit.
A little bit too long.
Yeah. The next one is The Room, massively famous bad film. Tommy Wiseau.
Brie Larson.
I did not hit her. No, man, not that, man. The Room. Are you thinking about the one where she's kidnapped and she lives in the room?
Yeah, which one?
No, man, The Room with Tommy Wiseau. One of the most famous bad films of all time. Filmed.
Oh, he's got the long hair.
Yeah, The Disaster Artist was based off it with James Franco.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen it.
Oh, hi, doggy. Oh, my God, dude. It's so... One night we need to do a podcast where we do a live watch of that.
Right.
You will be astounded. The next one, the last two, I don't know. This is from the Standard.co.uk, so it's in the UK, London Evening Standard newspaper. Is Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Yeah, I mean...
Never heard of that.
Really.
Yeah, but it just sounds like any other Channel 5, no offense, Channel 5, afternoon Christmas film.
That's sci-fi, innit? It's from 1964.
Oh, must be bad.
2.7 on the old IMDb, like.
Have you got it? What's the synopsis? Give us the synopsis.
Okay. It's very short for some reason.
Okay.
Martians
even
kidnap
better.
Santa Claus because there is nobody on Mars to give their children presents.
Standard. Standard, yeah. Is that it?
Oh, yeah. It's on Prime Video, dude. We should watch that too.
All right, we'll watch
Actually,
that
I
as
don't know
a
if I can
double
put
feature.
myself through 2.7 1964 movie.
No, it's even better when they're bad. What? So the Martians capture him because there's no...
Martians kidnap Santa Claus because there
think
is
they'd have their
nobody on
own.
Mars to give their children presents.
I mean, how did they even know about the folklore of Santa Claus, to be honest? Weird.
Broadcasting TV, innit? Sky, innit?
What? Sky on Mars? They've got some reach, haven't they? They can't even get it in some parts of this country. And the last one, I don't know, but it sounds good, is number 12 on the worst films ever made list is United Passions.
Sounds like a porno.
United Passions.
Sam Neill and Tim Roth.
Whoa, big hitters there.
And it's apparently 2.1. Holy shit! Follows the passing of the FIFA baton through 3 association presidents.
You've read that so elegantly.
Yeah. I mean, that
Sounds terrible. But I mean, they're very famous bad films.
I mean, Sam Neill, Tim Roth, Gerard Depardieu. Yeah, that's it. I thought there might have been more, but yeah, I haven't heard of anybody else.
I'll give you some highlights off just the Wikipedia of what the worst films are. Some of the ones you probably would have seen. Some of the ones I like. First one on the list is Freddy Got Fingered. You ever seen Freddy Got Fingered?
With Tom Green.
Tom Green.
I haven't watched it since I was a teenager, mind. So
There's an excellent video on Red Letter Media. I'll tag them in this as well about Freddy Got Fingered. It's the Freddy Got Fingered review, RE:view. And basically, they just talk about how a studio gave him the money and he was just scamming them, buying stuff. And like the whole film is a parody on him just spending money on the film. I love that film. I think it's really good.
what else you got there?
There's loads. Epic movie, Meet the Spartans. It's all kind of them
Meet
ones.
the Spartans is terrible. Like.
Disaster movie, that kind of thing. Catwoman.
Yeah,
Catwoman snuck in there.
Halle Berry is terrible.
I'm gonna go to some of the kind of the latest ones, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Birdemic. You ever seen Birdemic? Terrible B movie.
No.
Like really bad B movie. But then they made, but it became very popular because it was so bad. A bit like The Room with Tommy Wiseau. So they made a sequel. But then the sequel knew it was bad. You know what I'm saying?
Took the piss out of itself. 1.8. That's probably the lowest I've ever seen on IMDb.
Surprisingly, The Last Airbender, that's on the list. I think that was M. Night Shyamalan. Although I might be completely wrong there. I'm sure he did a film that surprised me like that. And I went, oh, that's him.
Is it the cartoon one, no? Or
No, it's the film. The film, 2010.
Film one. The Avatar one. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
It is. I can
Is
never say
it?
his name? Shyamalan.
Shyamalan? I just say Shyamalan. Shyamalan.
4.1.
Not bad. I didn't. That's My Boy. I thought it was.
It's my boy.
That's My Boy's quite. It's an Adam Sandler film with Andy, and I like Andy.
Oh,
Samberg.
Andy Samberg.
I think it's quite a funny film. It is just Adam Sandler shite. It is just Adam Sandler shtick, but it's fine. Jack and Jill. Now that is a very bad film.
Yeah, I think Adam Sandler definitely had a lull for a while, and is possibly still in it.
Uncut Gem's all right, but it is good. But he seems to be using that as a springboard.
I did actually quite like his very recent murder mystery, although not brilliant. I did enjoy it. What's it called?
Murder Mystery. It is that.
Is it really?
I'm sure it's just called Murder Mystery or something like that. Fateful Findings, that's a Neil Breen film, if you ever heard of Neil Breen. Amazingly bad. Red Letter Media, again, do a good video on that. United Passions on this list again. Dirty Grandpa?
Yeah, because it's an acquired taste, isn't it?
Yeah, Dirty Grandpa, though, is fucking hilarious if you're 13.
Well, exactly, but unfortunately, 13-year-olds don't do their critiques on IMDb.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, but how can they say it's the worst film of all time? Someone likes it. I mean, someone likes everything. But there is genuine films that are actually made badly. Like Fateful Findings, anything by Double Identity, I think Neil Breen did as well. Like, they are, or The Room, original The Room, they're not the one, Brie Larson one. They are actually genuinely terrible. Dirty Grandpa is shot well. You know, it's done. You know what I mean? It's not.
Right, okay, so it's not Sharknado.
Sharknado, there's another one that was popular because it was shit, and then they've made 20 sequels knowing that they're shit. And once you know that, you're not funny. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's funny because it's bad, but they didn't realise.
We've said a lot of quotes out of films, actually, for our entire lives. Can you think of some of the top ones we have said to each other for many years?
There's some that I use and like people just don't get. Just
go on,
look at me funny, like "Come back, Shane," and
"Come back, Shane." That's quite an obscure one, that, you know.
And,
"Come back, Shane." Can you tell? Do you remember what it's off? "Come back, Shane."
God, the problem with "Come back, Shane," it's been. I don't know where it originally comes from, but I know.
I can tell you.
What's it from originally? Is Shane a dog?
No. At the start of film, you'll remember this because I'm sure I've forced you to watch it probably 25 times. But you know, at the start of films when you have like Miramax and the kind of, they do it Pixar and they do a little animation.
Yeah.
This was one of those, and it was on the start of the Jerky Boys film. Remember the Jerky Boys film?
Is that what it's off? But I've heard it in something. I'm sure, is Kevin Smith not dropped it into one of his films as well?
I don't think so. Oh, well, he might have. But it was one of those, and it was like one of those studio symbols of a guy walking away, and one of the Jerky Boys says, "Come back, Shane." No idea what it's in reference to. It might be in reference to even something else, but that's where we got it from.
I'm sure it's from like an old film, and Shane's a dog or something.
Another "You're Sick, I'll Humor You." That's the one we've said for many years, which is, of course, from
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, along with "Anybody Want a Peanut."
Oh, there's a film called Shane.
Yeah, well, that might not have anything to
But
do with it.
no, there's a kid that says, "Come back, Shane. Come back,
Ah, oh, that's what the reference is then.
Shane."
Oh, but
Yes.
we got it off.
I'm sure he's a dog. I'm sure Shane's a dog or something.
Yeah, but we got off the Jerky Boys film.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we got it off the Jerky. I knew it was off something though. It's an old western from the 50s.
What other quotes?
Any number of quotes from Aliens.
Aliens, yeah.
Do it, Doug. Do it, Doug. I say a lot.
Do it, Doug.
And
That's
people just
from-
look at me like, I'm not called Doug. What are you talking about?
Kevin Smith. That's from Kevin Smith.
Get him, Steve Dave.
Get him, Steve Dave. Another Kevin Smith. There's some great Kevin Smith ones. Anybody want a peanut? That's Princess Bride again.
I mean, I use loads. I do the "Oh my God" one as well. I got told off of the missus though, because the little in Abby, who was only 7,
He's the
started
guy
doing
from Short Circuit.
No, it's
The
a
guy
poo.
from Short Circuit.
A poo from The Simpsons.
Ah, I thought you were doing the guy from Short Circuit, who was actually Fisher Stevens, who was a white guy playing a Pakistani man.
Okay, if you did that part now, you'd get ridiculed. For...
You get crucified.
It's the equivalent of blacking somebody up.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, right, Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2 has an actor called Fisher Stevens, who's a white actor, playing a Pakistani man and doing the accent and all the shtick. And honestly, as a kid, though, I just thought that
I'd never seen him in
I
anything
thought that
else.
was
I
just
actually
like...
thought that was genuinely his accent.
Yeah. I thought that was
And then I think
genuinely...
the next thing I saw him in, I was like, why is he doing a weird American accent?
Well, the next thing I saw him in, I was like, oh, he looks familiar.
I think the next thing he's in Hackers, isn't he?
Yes, he is the plague in Hackers, the film. Great film, that. And he's also in my... This is weird, dude. He's also in my favourite episode of Lost that we talked about in the first podcast, or second or third or fourth or one of them. We talked about it on one of them. God, we have been, well, for you lot, this is the 5th one, but for us, we've just been speaking for 16 hours.
Have you got your random shout out? My random shout out is John Leonard. There you go.
He's because he does a bit.
Remember,
of boxing
you're
now,
not allowed to say anything other than that. You can't elaborate until the next episode. Right, okay. So John Leonard is my random shout out.
So we'll talk about that next time. My random shout out is going to be Emma Foskett. Man, she was from Count Wildfire. I'm not going to talk about it, I promise. But, oh my God, you've just sent me the list of who we've mentioned. There's not a page long enough. That's 2 episodes, though. I'll not give away. I'll not let them see behind the curtain. But yeah, so shout out to you. We shall mention you and talk about you next time, along with whoever you shout out. Who did you? John Leonard,
Emma Foskett.
Thanks for listening. I know there's a million things coming out now. Now everyone's doing one, but listen, put this on for an hour. I don't care if you don't like it. Just listen to it, right? Enjoy. Yeah, have a good time. We'll speak to you next week. Right, love you. Night night.